Alexander the Great Volkanovski has certainly earned his nickname, becoming the consensus greatest featherweight of all time and pound for pound one of the best fighters to ever step inside the octagon. The wins over all-time greats such as Max Holloway, Jose Aldo, Chad Mendes, Brian Ortega, the Korean Zombie and Yair Rodriguez, it's easy to see why MMA fans hold him in such a high regard. Going into 2023, Volkanovski hadn't lost a professional MMA fight since May of 2013. He was on a 22-fight win streak, and with an opportunity to become double champ against Islam Makhachev in February, Volkanovski had a chance to solidify himself as possibly the greatest fighter of all time. However, he's now 1-3 in his last 4 fights after seeming invincible for over 10 years and not losing once. Volkanovski has now lost 2 fights in a row via brutal knockout. Is it time for Volk to hang up the gloves? Whilst Volkanovski has lost 3 out of his last 4 fights, he isn't having the tragic decline most people would have you believe. His first loss was a controversial decision to Islam Makhachev at UFC 284. However, most people don't see this as a loss, since Islam was the bigger opponent and Volkanovski was laughing and smiling throughout the fight, and gave the performance of a lifetime, giving an instant classic fight. A lot of fans actually viewed this as a win for Volkanovski. He then returned to featherweight, and looked amazing against Yair Rodriguez, TKOing him in round 3. Peace had finally been restored, and Volk fans were looking forward to when he might face Islam again. However, they wouldn't have to wait long, since Volkanovski would fill in on 11 days' notice to fight Islam Makhachev at UFC 284. However, this would end in disaster for Volkanovski, since he would get finished within the first round via a brutal head kick, which would be his first finished loss in 10 years. During the post-fight interview, he stated that he took the fight since he was having some mental health struggles and he needed a fight. However, Volk still had some things left. He still had his featherweight belt, he'd still never lost a professional fight at featherweight, and most fans blamed the enormous weight cut for Volkanovski's loss. When he was booked to face Ilia Topuria, fans were skeptical if the 4-month turnaround was too soon. Volkanovski insisted that he would fight. However, tragedy struck Volkanovski fans once again when he was brutally knocked out cold in the second round, truly ending an era of MMA. This poses the question, what's next for Volkanovski? One talking point is that Volkanovski looked really good in the first round against Topuria, and is arguably better skill-wise and technically, and all 3 judges gave Volkanovski round 1. I mention this since Volkanovski doesn't seem to be losing skill or declining, but rather his losses are a result of fighting the best in the world constantly, and his body naturally having to work harder since he's getting older. Not every fighter can be like John Jones or Khabib and stay on top forever. As Volkanovski himself said, sometimes you're the hammer and other days you're the nail. Today, I was the nail. Volkanovski also stated that he wants a rematch against Topuria in Spain, and I 100% think Volk deserves it. After all, he is one of the best champions the sport has ever seen. But he really needs to take some time off, spend some time with his family, train a little bit more, take some time to properly recover and make sure he's prepared to fight Topuria. So after losing twice in a row by knockout, he really needs his time to recover. If Volkanovski loses to Topuria again, I honestly think he should just retire. Since Topuria looks like he could be a good champion for a long time, and Volk is getting older. He could try moving up to 155, fighting 1 or 2 contenders and trying to get another shot at Islam, but I think that's unlikely. Being 100% honest, if Volk loses to Topuria again, I think he needs to just retire. He's already 35 years old, he's not getting any younger, and he's already achieved so much in his career. He's already a UFC Hall of Famer, and there isn't much left for him in the sport. No one wants to see him become the next Tony Ferguson or BJ Penn. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all later.